you to do. I'm here now, dog. J.Lou, deal with me. What they want you to do. Breathe.
What's good? It's your boy J.Lou, and we're back at Loucid Lounge with another lyric breakdown. This breakdown we doing today, man, is conscience. You've seen this guy on a couple of these segments, and he's here yet again, Mr. Sophisticated. How many songs we done with each other? What, 2, 3 now?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, bananas, man. So we just gonna keep on hitting these off, but this one right here is definitely different from the first 2 we've done. So I think you guys gonna really enjoy this one. So with that said, I'm gonna let him talk about the chorus because actually he came up with it. So.
My subconscious is unconscious when conscious shit just don't make sense.
So for the chorus, I wanted to keep it simple. So basically when we're doing things that we're unaware of or that's not aligned with what we're doing, why am I tongue twisting this shit?
You could do so, you
Every time.
It's all good, man.
To put it simply, it's just like my mind is blank when things don't make sense when it comes to like why people do the things that they do or act the way that they act. That's what the chorus means to me. I don't know if it had a different meaning for you when you heard it.
More or less, the way I wrote the verse pertaining to the chorus was more like how you said, we're moving throughout this life and subconsciously there's things that as an individual that I'm supposed to be doing, but I know in my conscious mind there are things that I'm making decisions about, albeit something good or bad, but in the back of my mind I know I'm supposed to be doing my purpose. But you know, living this life you get caught up sometimes, and that's kind of how I depicted what the chorus is about for me particularly. But it's still lined up, even though, you know, we had different depictions on it. The ultimate thing for this song and any song that we create, we always love to leave it abstract for you guys to have your own personal opinion on what that means to you. So when you listen to the song, let us know in the comments what it means to you. So we're gonna go into this first verse.
My thoughts racing, reasonable doubts, J vibes, trying to figure out how to be that guy. My spirit says you can do it, my head says keep your day job. I realize everybody bake time is different before they cake rise.
Anybody that has ambitions, goals, aspirations, things that they're chasing, I always feel like their mindset is running. It's always racing. And this is what I'm talking about for myself. My mind is racing, but me being the older guy out the two and being in music for a while, you have these tendencies to have reasonable doubts, which is understandable, especially when you feel like you should be further ahead than what you really are. I did play on this a little bit because Jay-Z's first album was called Reasonable Doubts, and I was really talking about my own reasonable doubts, but at the same time vibing out to his album at the moment. When I was talking about trying to figure out how to be that guy, I'm not necessarily saying that I want to be Jay-Z, but more or less trying to follow the blueprint of being a businessman and being successful in the music industry, as well as taking my business acumen and allowing myself to diversify the funds I make from music and be successful financially.
Another blueprint, you threw another little album reference.
Oh yeah, he called it. My spirit is very strong, so I'm always thinking spiritually, dude, it's just a matter of time. Like, you just gotta keep pushing. But in my head, it's like, yeah, man, you've been at this for a minute. You might want to keep your day job. And it's kind of coincide with the same feelings that you get when you have a dream or a goal that you're chasing and you got family members, friends that don't quite see your vision the way you do, and they always say, what's your plan B? That's equivalent to the battle I'm having within myself. But as I had this battle, I ended up finding out, like, you know, you gotta have a self-reflection moment, which is what I did when I said everybody's bake time is different. Everybody's journey is different. Your timing of success is totally different from the man next to you. So just don't compare yourself to somebody else in that regard.
But I can't shake the visions of Ashton Martin sitting in my driveway, or redlining anything that resembles the Autobahn highway.
Let me put you on game for a minute.
When you navigating paths through Hollywood's gauntlet, be careful not to be another Hollywood junkie. They say it's like a drug. Once you indulge the addiction, get stronger. Do anything for that high to last longer.
Just like anybody else, I like my toys. I was saying, you know, I can't shake this thing about having this Aston Martin in my driveway and being able to hit any highway like it was the Autobahn. The Autobahn is basically this German highway. Obviously, I already said German. It's in Germany. It's a highway that supposedly don't have a speed limit, and I would love to just hit all the highways as I'm talking to you about vibing out and just redlining that car, being free. And exactly, you know what I'm saying? Short way of me saying that I can't shake the success that I want to grab. When you're trying to be in Hollywood or you're trying to be in this industry, music, acting, whatever, you just have to be mindful of the gauntlet, the obstacles that come your way. And when I mean obstacles, I'm not talking about you not being picked for the part or being signed to a record label or being recognized. I'm talking about the vices for the limelight, the exotic drugs, attractive women. You have to be mindful of all those aspects and just make sure that you keep a level head in it, because you definitely don't want to end up another Hollywood junkie. And what I mean by that, it's a lot of people that I've seen interviews on and different aspects and different people who got into Hollywood and they ended up falling victim to these things. And it's not just men, it's women too, but because it's two men here, I'm really specifying the men. Most times I've seen a lot of young guys, when they're not prepared for it, they fall victim to those things. Because you're starting to get your momentum going, the more the limelight is on you, the more the paparazzi come, the more IG fame and all this stuff that, in my opinion, really don't matter, starts to get to you. You want it more and more.
Anything for that red beam, anything for that zoom lens. Some will lose friends over old girl at the show palace that shows strong pole control and makes her back bend. Flashing lights, ego stroking. Knowing this, I'm surely hoping my subconscious is clear when my conscience is impaired, and I question if I'm supposed to be here. Yeah.
You ever notice sometimes when somebody does something and they don't get the limelight anymore, they start doing this ridiculous shit just to keep the zoom lens on them? You do anything to keep that camera on you, and I'm not one of those people that believe all publicity is good publicity. So I just keep telling myself I gotta stay mindful. This line about, some will lose friends at the strip. So there's this strip club I used to go to back in the H.
Long time ago, long time ago.
Called the Show Palace. Alright.
Bucket naked.
And there was a lot of attractive women in there, man.
You can see they public hairs.
And again, this is what I'm talking about, vices, specifically hip hop artists. We all know, you see it even in their music videos, they use strip clubs and shit like that to signify the women and throwing the money. I was in that place. I didn't throw the money and going crazy and shit like that, but I still frequented it.
What?
I still went, more than I should have. And what I'm saying now, being older too and being in a different place in my life, I realize I don't want to lose friends. And when I mean friend now, because I'm married, I don't want to lose my wife. I don't want to lose friends. Well, this is one of my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of taking these women for the face value, which is strip club, and being attracted to the physical stuff. And most people know men fall mainly because of women. And I'm saying in this bar, I just don't want to lose my best friend via wife, my kids, or anything like that to something as frivolous as strippers. And I don't mean that in disrespect to the woman who is stripping, because you may be in there for whatever reason you want to. But I'm saying for me specifically, I don't want to lose any of those things for just some night on the town, is what I was really trying to say in that. Strong control back being, I'm just talking about the woman having the gymnastic setting on the pole where they're doing all this acrobatic stuff because of the strength they have. Flashing lights, ego stroking, that's a double entendre. It's flashing lights and ego stroking is still talking about Hollywood paparazzi flashing the camera on you. All these people, the IG is on you, or any social media that you're on, that's on you. Ego stroking, people telling you how great you are, all this stuff. That shit can go to your head, real talk. So you just gotta be mindful of that. Flashing lights, ego stroking. The other way, I'm talking about the strobe lights that's usually going off in a strip club. Ego stroking, you kind of get my point with that, with the woman. Ego stroking you. Knowing all this knowledge that I have and wisdom that I've gotten from other people, I'm surely hoping that my subconscious, which is the thing that I know that keeps me on board with my goals and aspirations and purpose. When my conscience is impaired from all the vices that's around me, all the shit that I talked about originally, sometimes question like, am I really supposed to be in this life, meaning this industry, because of what I see and what I truly desire to get out of it. Everything in it doesn't line up in a sense, or how they show it and view it, it doesn't line up with what my subconscious continues to tell me that I need to be doing. I know I'm supposed to be, but I just question it sometimes because of what I see. So that's the end of the first verse. We're gonna dive into the second one. Mr. Sophisticated gonna drop his gems on you, and I'm gonna let him take over from here.
My patience and honesty is looked at as an oddity. I'm not a common commodity, and it's driving me crazy. Transparency is my only frequency. If you're not on board, then we not matching on wavelength. Yeah.
I feel like with certain people, I'm patient and I'm super honest, almost to like a blunt. I'm not even gonna say almost blunt. I'm very blunt and patient. Exactly. When I wrote this bar, it was mostly in terms of what people, a lot of people say they want the truth, or they want someone who's gonna be patient with them. When they find someone that is like that, it's very rare and they don't really know what to do with it. I feel like in my life, when I've come across people and I'm like, hey, I am like this, and I hear that you're saying that this is what you want, it's like they're asking for it, and then it's like, okay, now that it's here, I don't really like this. So I proceed to say, I'm not a common commodity, and it's driving me crazy, because I know I'm different. I know that when people meet me, they're gonna get a different view, they're gonna get what's not their normal everyday person. So it's really hard for me when I meet other people who talk one way and then act completely different. It's like, I keep running into these same people where I'm hoping it's gonna be something that is a mutual benefit from me, where I'm like, you're saying you want this and I'm able to bring this, and vice versa. Because you're saying you want this, I'm assuming that you have traits that complement that, and it ends up not being that way. So it's a hard thing to continue to go through. I love transparency. I love when someone's honest with me, because that's the best form of communication we're gonna have. When you're telling me what you want, what you need, or what you're looking for, and when I'm giving you the same thing, when I'm reciprocating that, then I feel like that's the best way people can get all of those things. If that's not the case, then I don't really want to communicate with you.
I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
I mean, that, to put it bluntly, as I said earlier, I'm honest.
We ain't on the same wavelength. We can't communicate. You know what I mean? Different frequencies.
Exactly.
Static noise.
Exactly.
It's kinda funny, the same thing you be looking for. It's kinda funny, the same thing you don't be portraying. Actions betraying your logic. It's like you moving unconscious, sporadic, making me nauseous. Find my balance and I got this. Otherwise, it just don't make sense. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
So like I said before, it's hilarious to me when people are hypocritical in the things that they're looking for and then not portraying the same thing. Oh, I like somebody who, who's assertive and goes and gets what they want, or, ambitious. And then I'm like, all right, I'm those things. Are you those things? And it's like, well, I'm not really. I'm more passive, or I don't really know what I want to do. And it's like, that's hilarious to me. You're asking for something that you yourself are not even doing. Actions, like I said, people are hypocritical. A lot of people are these days, especially those in my generation. It's illogical to me. They might find it logical where they're like, I can ask for what I want and have these high standards and not have to be on that same level. It's just what I want. I don't necessarily have to do it for someone else. That's weird, obviously. Like, why would you do that? Why would you ask for something that you're not doing yourself?
Yeah, they do it though.
Exactly. That being sporadic like that and saying I want this, or being all over the place with your wants and your needs, it's uncontrollable, because I can't meet you on every single thing that you want. I think, am I saying it right? When they say beck and call, or on the whim or whatever. Yeah, like beck and call. Mm-hmm. When you change your mind and you decide, maybe I don't want somebody who's super honest with me. I can't change who I am, but I can try and make adjustments. But if you keep having me make all these little adjustments because you're finding within yourself that you ask for one thing and don't really want it, then you're basically transforming my whole being, and I have to stay true to myself, and I can't just be everything that you claimed out of the gate that you wanted and I already was bringing to the table. And then at some point, if you are a person that's doing that, where you're just like transforming yourselves to meet the person's need, that can make it to where you become unconscious to the whole thing, and you look up and you're like, wow, I've literally transformed myself into this completely different person for either this guy or this girl, and it's all unconscious. You're not even seeing how much you're giving to this person when you're doing all of this. You gotta find your balance. And for me, when at the end of the verse, it was like, find my balance and I got this. It's like, otherwise, you know, it just really don't make sense. At the end of the day, if you're not being your authentic self coupled with having strong morals and principles, then it really doesn't make sense, and you're doing exactly what the chorus is saying.
We got a bridge is real short, so we're gonna jump to that, and then that'll wrap this up.
Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it don't. But I can attest that I try on a day.
The bridge is pretty simple. Yeah, we repeated it several times, and sometimes you need that to let it sink into your mind. A lot of things that we're going through life, man, it don't make sense. And sometimes it do. But all you need to do in your life is to make sure that you're giving 120% every time you wake up, and whatever it is that you're chasing, whatever person you're trying to build a relationship with, you're not always gonna get it right. You're not always gonna understand it, but you just gotta keep going. I'm gonna let him touch bases on it. I mean, obviously, he probably say the same thing, but sometimes hearing it from the other person, they may, you know, give you a different perception, and it may resonate with you a little different than what I said.
Well, I concur with him completely. You know, sometimes we go through life and it doesn't make sense to us, but the biggest thing is about trying, and that's when I say trying, it's trying to shape yourself into the best version of yourself. You know, you have to be aware of what the best version of yourself is for you. Because for me, trying will be different. How I get up and say, okay, today I tried. Today I gave this amount. Only you know what your full capacity is, and everyone's differs. So his trying may look different from mine. He may go super hard in the paint, and for me it might be like, dang, that's a lot. I know I'm not able to do as much as he does, but I'm able to do whatever weight I'm able to do. It's kind of like when you're working out. So you're in your own little race, and it won't make sense to everybody else and even yourself, but it will make sense, the effort that you're putting in and seeing what changes are made.
That's a perfect explanation, man. All in all, what we telling you guys is you run your own race. Don't compare your race to nobody else, and whatever your 120% is, only you know what that is. But you gotta give it every day, no matter if you understand what you're supposed to be doing or not. Got it? That concludes the breakdown of Conscience. I think it's a dope song. If you guys haven't heard it, the lyric video is up, and it also is on all the digital platforms. And if you want to purchase it, you also can go to jloumusic.com and go cop it there. Also, you got a couple of singles out by yourself. Where can they find those at?
Mostly, they're available on all digital platforms. If you want to check out my latest single, Stupid Dumb, it's on Spotify. The link will be in the description. You can check out my artist profile under there, under Sophisticated. It's spelled the same way Sophisticated is spelled, obviously. So yeah, you can check out my songs there. And the latest single is Stupid Dumb.
Two hot singles too, man. They summer joints. Unfortunately, with all this stuff going on, I don't know how much you can gig outside with it. If you want to get down in your house, those are definitely some bangers that you might want to jam inside the house. As always, we definitely appreciate you guys taking time out your busy schedule to come kick it with us and listen to the breakdown of the songs that we put out, and we'll continue to provide you guys with great music. That's all I got for you. Until next time, this is J.Lou and Mr. Sophisticated on Loucid Lounge. Out.